Hey, everybody. How's it going? First time doing a live, so bear with me here. So, um, I'm Ariadne. That's how you say it, Jay, by the way, Ariadne. You and Kojo should kind of clip this little part in the be it on repeat because you know how you and Kojo get with the names. Um, so, yeah, doing a little something different today because yeah, it's just this was all. I feel like I kind of roped El Cid here into it because she was yeah. I was like, this might be a little much, I should say. Trying to keep it cute and classy, as Kojo would say. So, but El Cid, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm El Cid. Ariadne and I've been talking in IG chat. We met through Kojo's channel, like I met a lot of folks through Kojo's channel, and we're just gonna try this out. We're gonna struggle together.
The struggle bus is real, folks. The struggle bus is real.
And it's on diesel and it's blowing smoke.
Ugh. Anyway, so we're here talking about Never Ever Mets. The ghetto of it all is what you said pretty much last night is the ghetto of it all. Like, so I don't even know where to start. I kind of want to get Dom and Alexis out the way because they're the heaviest ones. I don't want to end on a heavy note
Heavy note.
because
Hmm.
that's what Kojo did earlier. I was like, I needed to decompress because I was like, that's why I pushed it back like half an hour because I was like, that's a lot.
So
That
you rather lift the heavy load first and then end light.
yes,
Okay.
because I need to be. That's why I joke a lot because I need to laugh somehow some way because if I don't, it's gonna be a little bit too much. I don't even know like what I would do if I didn't laugh all the time because like I'm just saying like I got enough of my emotions to do. I don't need to be in the sunken place all the time. So I'm like, so anyways, yeah, I guess that's what we'll do is just go through the couples one by one because I don't know. I was thinking I didn't know whether to start from the beginning to the ends or the couples one by one. So we'll just do it one by one. So,
Okay.
like I said, Dom and Alexis dating 6 months, and to be honest, I mean I took the bare minimum notes, so you might have to help me out a little bit here.
Okay. I'm here. I'm here. I'm your plus one. Inside joke.
So sorry. I don't even know. I guess I was thinking earlier, like, what would I be? Would I be like the negative one or something? Because it's like
No, never negative.
you and Jay and Seaway and Sean were all the plus ones. And I was just in the chat on Kojo's channel, so I don't even know what I would be like. Oh, I'd be the
I'm
negative ones or what?
no, I'm a plus two. We're plus twos.
Okay, okay, okay. I can live with that. I can live with that. But anyways, yeah. So thanks for reminding me earlier about they were the ones that were at odds with the whole kid situation because I couldn't remember it was them or uh who was it? Shay and Josh because Josh is the one that had the 12-year-old and the 2 year and the toddler. I still am
Yeah.
not clear whether it's a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old. Anyway, that's besides the point. Getting off track already. Um, but yeah, um,
So, what I may find interesting, if I may read the cast excerpt
okay,
for the couples.
okay,
So, Alexis and Dominique, they say dating 6 months. Alexis DM'd Dominique after he went viral on a podcast segment. Dominique considers himself a sensitive romantic with old school ways, but is a serial playboy who loves to flirt. Alexis is a single mom and a former military with a history of dating cheaters.
Oh,
Though shy, she is opinionated and has insecurities that raise concerns for her and Dominique's relationship.
mm.
End of synopsis.
I'm sorry. I see, like, I struggle with my face all the time. So, like, if I look away, this is because I'm trying to hide my facial expressions. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Don't hide it. Don't hide it.
I'm like, if one thing is my face is gonna do is gonna get me in trouble, that or my tongue. So I don't know which one's worse, but so yeah. I said earlier on Kojo's channel that this is applies to what's her face, Sandia too, and Chris, but we need to see like what is going on with both of their families, because I don't understand how they think any of this is cute or funny. Because that's the only thing I can think of is like they think this stuff is cute, and it's weird. Like,
I wouldn't say cute or funny. I think this is the natural state of being for them. It's normal.
okay,
And for us, it's not normal. So we're like, oh my God. For them, it doesn't get to oh my God till a certain level. Just like what was his name? It was Josh who said, I don't know if they're really fighting, if it's serious or not. He too is in a space of this is normal till it get out of hand. So it's just not our normal. That's all it is. It's just not our normal. But
it is true.
because in philosophy class, if you have to define normal, that could take a whole dissertation.
That's also true. Yeah, I mean,
but it's the sensitive romantic. Who wrote this? I would like to know who's the writer and that she's shy. She wasn't shy about talking about those hoochie daddy shorts.
Well, it's poetry. That's what it is. It's the Chaz of it all. If we're being honest, it's the poetry. It's the poetry. So I'm
and
like,
you've said a name that's going to bring an algorithm, bring a bot.
I need to keep this name out my mouth because I don't want to get sued. So I'm like, let me just say it one time and then just like the he who shall not be named. That's what I'll call him for the rest of the time, because
here you go.
Like, I love my life. As much as I kind of complain to my therapist about it, like, I love my life. So let me just like leave him as he who should not be named. Yeah.
She was former military. That's interesting to know.
I missed that part because I didn't catch that at all.
They never said it. I'm now knowing it in the synopsis.
Okay. I was like, well, where did she say that at? I'm like, I must have missed a lot of stuff because I was like, I don't know. Anyways.
It brings to me a different dynamic, like former military. And if he knew that, then she wouldn't be the one to really go at. And, I wonder if the person is trying to say the old school ways. That's some toxic old school ways we saw on the show.
Old school ways, what do you mean? Like, what time period are we in? Because that's what
right. They say he considers himself a sensitive romantic with old school ways, but is a serial playboy who loves to flirt.
Now, did production write that, or did he say that about himself? Because it's like it's
That's
given also Chris, because he's like he told himself in the episode. So like, did he write it, or did the production team write it? Because I don't know. That sounds weird. So, I mean, I don't. I mean, I always take people for how they actually state themselves, because that way, because if you ignore what they say, then you're complicit in what uh being hurting yourself, because it's like, I don't know, I mean, but this is, I I don't know. This whole episode was just like given. I'll say that for later. Never mind. I'll get into, because I feel like I'm getting off topic. I'll say that for later. Um,
So, what did you think of their date?
I was thinking, did we get into Never Ever Met After Dark? Because the way she was, the position she was in was just like giving that. So can we, like, this was at 7 o'clock. This was still sort of awake time, like not playful time. Like, for I hope you, I don't even know what I'm saying.
Wait a minute. Let's go there. There's a time for play. There's a
Adult
specific
playtime.
time.
Adult playtime is what I'm trying to say.
Wait a
Adult
minute.
playtime.
There's a specific time for adult playtime. I need to know because I'm off schedule.
Typically, when we get to adult playtime, it's like 9 o'clock or after, at least in my mind. So I'm like, and this was in broad daylight when they were on this date. So, and this is the what we saw when we saw it was still like before adult playtime, which to me it starts at 9 o'clock p.m. So I'm
What
like,
time zone? What time zone?
all time zones, not just a specific one. It's all like, I,
Oh my gosh. I did not know that the sun needed to be down and it needed to be after 9 o'clock for adult playtime. I have been
I mean,
violating that mandate. Okay. I have been
I mean,
violating.
unless it's like the weekend, that okay, I can see it in the middle of the day, but like this is like the weekend, middle. This is like the work week. Come on, please, I
If
beg.
you had said out in the open like that under the disguise of yoga, I would get that. But the time thing, I ain't got a time limit.
I don't.
But yeah, I just what I what I did say in the chat earlier was it felt to me like I ain't even got dinner yet, and you got me laid out.
I think that's what I was trying to get at, because it's like you're like, I haven't even eaten dinner. Like, I'm barely eating dinner, and I'm like, I'm already seeing people almost going to the boom boom room trying to, like, what's going on? I don't, please. This is like drinking shots without no chaser or something. I don't know. Like, it's because when did this get X rated? I'm like, please, come on. This ain't Skinamax. This ain't the penthouse. This ain't whatever. Like, I don't, like, come on, please. I can't. I really cannot.
Showtime after dark.
Yes. I'm like,
So their date was fine. I understand, but we could have been on separate mats or whatever. We didn't have to be up close and personal before I even got any food. I'm feeling the your sausage before I actually eat any. I'm sorry. Tell me if I'm going too far.
Well, no. So- where is your husband, ma'am?
He's
Where is
taking a
your
he's taking a nap downstairs.
Uh, I don't know how much good that's gonna do though, because I remember you saying one time that I mean, even if he's sitting right next to you, he's not gonna hold
Right.
you like do much. So
Hey, y'all don't understand. Several times he's right there on the other couch, or he's standing right in front of me, and I'm saying certain things. He
never
knows.
change though. Never
He,
change.
he knows. And when I come and say, "Honey, they said this about me," he's like, "Okay, how is that different than any other day?"
Mm.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Let me keep it together. Just trying to lighten up the mood because
No,
they get real heavy. They get real hot, I should say. They already been heavy. They get real hot later.
yeah, and then was it him who was wearing that pin pad when they got back to the house? Because what, like, or was that somebody else? Because there was that blue hat. I don't know. I thought he was wearing it, but it could have. I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention to really see if it was him or
He kept wearing a hat, but also Diamond's Aaron was wearing a hat as well.
too many errands on the show. My God, I'm sorry.
Well, that's why I said Diamond's Aaron, the more mature Aaron, non-dangly earring Aaron.
Mm. We'll get to Daily Earring later. I got thoughts on that. But
Oh yes.
yeah,
So two of them were wearing hats. So, my thing is, in many instances, I like Alexis's bubbly personality. She's, up there, but I'm not going to invite myself to sit on a man's lap. I'm not. I need at some point for you to invite me. That's a basic way of you showing that you would like me closer.
mm,
You would have a date, and the man sometimes don't even want you to sit across from them at the table. They're like, bring your chair closer. There's subtle things to do to let him show you he wants you closer.
yeah, and considering that these people never ever met, um, you would think that they would. I, you know what? And I was thinking this a couple times since last night that their author really are is just horny, really, if you really think about it, because like they just want to get it in because it's like because there was Shay and Josh who've been in a relationship for 12 years. That's a lot. That's all of her adult life because she was 18 when they met. So it's like that's all of her adult life, and she. I mean, unless she was getting it in with somebody else that he didn't know about, that's a long time to wait without sex. So it seems like all these people really were just wanting to get it in because
Understood, and we need to define segs. So,
not
because for many people, it needs to be, we need to be present and in the same room. And for others who are used to long distance relationships, they don't need that. It's giving we're physically in the same place, but it's giving like y'all been hot and heavy on the phone or on the camera.
well, that's also kind of what I was wondering was that were these people actually like doing video calls or talking on the phone or anything like that because it seems like a lot of these people, if not all of them, were literally just texting or Facebook messaging.
I'd like to know, like, just like I read how Dom and Alexis met, that he DM'd her after he went viral on a podcast segment. I wonder, because I don't even know what it is he went viral for. Um, I just wonder if Was that why she was all the way receptive to him? Because he went a little viral? Or why he felt the confidence to DM her? Because he went viral?
Mm, that's a good point.
So
Mm.
that would be my question. But it's interesting. I do like reading the segment that Own put on here for each of these cast members.
Wait, can you share that? Because where I don't see, like, was it on their Instagram or something? Because I never.
No, it's on the Own's website.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, and they have a thing about each of the cast.
okay. You know
A
what?
little
My
synopsis.
finger's working because I'm like, I don't know what in the world is.
So yeah, so that's with Dom. I was hoping because remember, people were talking that Dom had shared he's from Chicago and certain area in Chicago that Joanna was also from, and folks were saying Alexis is from Brooklyn, but I thought that these, little synopsis would say where they were from, but it didn't. But it gave some good insight. I don't know what part of Dom thinks he's a sensitive romantic, but I guess
Well, he's certainly sensitive because he was getting all physical with her at the end of the episode, and it's it's really making me think of Lauren because he's pretty sensitive about a lot of things, and so they both seem like and wait, Dom is from where again? He's from Illinois. Okay,
Chicago.
okay,
Same place Joanna is from.
okay. Because I was gonna say something else, but never mind. I'm gonna keep that part out. Because I was gonna say something about where Lauren was from, residing from, but you know what?
Brick
Anyway,
City, Brick City.
but yeah, I mean, I think they grew up pretty hard. I don't know if that's the right
Yep,
term, or
yep.
they grew up pretty dysfunctional. A lot of people grew up dysfunctional, but the way they grew up is kind of different because I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, unless
It's
you
the hood. It's the
yeah,
hood.
okay, because I was trying not to go there, but
It's the hood. You
so
can't go there. It's fine. It's the hood. Because the thing is, Brownsville is a little different, but no different. But it's like you grow up in an environment that, trains you to react and behave or even accept a certain normalcy. So I will say though, Dom, Dom as he is or as he presented even before this, would be considered a catch.
mm,
He would be considered tatted up, big guy, got a little bit of a grill, would be considered attractive in the hood. He got some chains, he will be considered attractive in the hood. I can't, but that attitude and that going after it, that's where the rubber would meet the road with him.
mm,
That's where a woman would run, or some women may not, because if he's providing, they may stay. But and especially where he went a little viral and he thinks he got a little moment. Oh yeah, he gonna be coming out trying to be all swagged out.
mm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I need him to get off the show expeditiously and get into therapy. And not only him, but Alexis and Sandia and Chris as well, because those four really need it, to be quite honest. Because I don't, you can't live like that to be ready to fight at any given point in time. Like, because they both look like they were ready. Dom and Alexis look like they were both ready to fight, and I'm like, and they may have done worse that we didn't see. but I mean, I don't think so, but they may have. But I mean, I see.
Um,
I just
that's
like,
why I warn people that the highlights show it gets worse next week before it gets better. It gets worse, and for me, I looked at them as it's shows that they're not aware of their triggers and how to just de-escalate a situation. And even if somebody is still coming at you, whatever, how to handle that. It's a very stressful situation to be in for both of them. Very stressful. And they, as you said, need therapy to be able to handle this if it happens in the future.
yeah, because I get. I mean, like you said, it's their normal, but it's just so weird seeing it because like my normal is not even expressing myself at all. Not expressing whatever bothers me, whatever gets me mad, whatever. It doesn't even matter what it is, really, and that comes from um maybe a multitude of things, but for sure it feels like um I never really had much of a voice to really say anything from like a what I think is a emotionally unavailable parent because I look, my parents divorced when I was about 5 or 6, and I lived with my mom from like age 6 to 14, 15. So I mean, it's just that she didn't seem all that like, not to kind of really dump right now, but I mean that's basically my normal, is not being able to really express myself because of how unavailable my parent was emotionally and all that stuff. So it's like that's my normal. So I mean, and like I said, it's just it, that's why I felt like I needed to like get into therapy for real, because I only started doing this that deep dive really just like a year and a half ago. So it's mm,
Well,
and
as Jay said in the chat, you are finding your voice.
yeah, and it's definitely gotten a lot better. I want to also credit Kojo to you a little bit here because I was feeling like I was starting to get there, listening to his videos and all of that. So, um, which I feel like help push me wanting to actually do work. So, like in therapy, because I was seeing some stuff that I didn't like. So I was
Hmm.
like, I needed to shut up and like sit down somewhere.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah,
Well, to play off of um Alexis, the dark artistry in me would have complimented Greg Shorts and turned to my boo and say, "Well, we need to find out where Greg got those because I'd like to see you in some of those shorts." That may have soothed the wildness a little bit, but you certainly can bring it back to your partner so that even if they think you checking out Greg Shorts, it's the shorts of it all and not Greg. But that's me diving into the dark artistry.
yeah, and I can definitely um how he could feel a type of way. It's just really how he handled it that was really off, and that's where um he because that's the hood in him coming out. Because as Kojo showed on his channel, he was like he showed a little clip of him bucking at her, and I was like, oh, that is so unattractive. I'm like,
It reminds me of and I'm not saying he is, but it reminds me of how a pimp will deal with one of his workers.
Mm.
When I saw him do that, that's immediately what I thought. And I'm like, I don't know if he comes from that world, but that when I see that kind of aggression to try and use dominance to get her to behave even the way he hugged and handled her, that's what I have seen before. It's not my normal, but it's what I've seen before.
Yeah, I don't know if I said this. I didn't, I don't remember if I said it earlier in Culture's Life or I said it last time on Jay's, but um, I remember this one time when he was, when I saw him sort of get physical. Um, it I and this happened like literally like what was it, like 5 or 6 years ago. Um, but my stepdad at the time was talking to my little brother who was 15, 14, 15, or maybe 16 at the time. And my stepdad wanted my younger brother to, had said something to my younger brother. And then he assumed that my little brother had said something out of pocket. And so next thing I know, because I'm sitting there in the living room and they're like kind of in the kitchen, and next thing I know, dude was coming at my little brother all aggressively and like I think he had like his arm around my younger brother's neck, scared the hell out of me. And so I was just like, and then I got angry because I was like, what we're not gonna do is do that. And I had never grown up around that, so that was like I guess my first instance of seeing that somewhere in my life. And I was like, so that's why it's like a little baffling to me how I like people see that all the time. But like you're saying it's like it's their normal. So it's like I hope that after seeing this back that they get into some form of therapy, because that is really really not healthy at all.
But looking at your story, old school parents saying anything after they discipline you will be perceived as disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you say okay, or even if you say I heard you, anything can be seen as disrespectful and may cause a reaction. Not saying it's correct, but this is habitual for them. How they were raised, how they have taken stuff in, because even so, the way I raise my boys isn't always how I was raised. And certainly the environment they're raised around, we're outside of Atlanta, outside the perimeter, we're in a, suburban town, is not at all how I was raised around. So we got to take that into consideration. But for both of them, for me, I just looked at it at a lens of, okay, this is just the swiftness of the reaction tells me you've been here before. You've
Oh
done this before.
yeah, this is not new because
And the cameraman, there are certain angles you could tell is a camera in the room, but the one directly across from them, the cameraman, and I know some people's like, well, why didn't they step in, where's security? They probably didn't think security is needed on this show because these are people who are dating and profess that they love each other.
hmm
And so we're thinking it's going to be lovey dovey. They may argue, but it's not going to get physical.
yeah.
And the cameraman has a mandate. I'm sorry, his mandate in his contract, we don't know. It could be to film and not intervene. And he could get fired for that if he intervenes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because even look at cameramen for news anchors. You've seen stuff happen to news anchors out in the field, and the cameraman is still rolling the camera.
Mm. Uh, I don't think I've ever seen that before, but I mean, I guess that's not surprising.
Yeah, look it up. There are things that happen in front of the cameraman. Somebody will come into the shot or whatever. It's usually the anchor has to tell the person get out the shot or whatever, but the cameraman stays on camera.
Mm.
So if they miss a shot, it will be worse for them if they miss the filming, because it can ruin their career. Unfortunately.
That is true. Jay, I don't know if I want to watch Civil War. That sounds because you were saying last night that was triggering. So like maybe when this show is all over, I can visit it, but not right now. um. Anyway, so
Okay.
moving forward, as Miss Misha would say, let's move forward because
Okay. Who's the next couple? Let me read their synopsis.
I think we should go to Sandia and Chris because they're the next.
Sandia, absolutely
Toxic.
gorgeous girl.
Yup.
All the ladies are beautiful in their own right, but Sandia. Okay, Sandia and Chris dating 3 months. Sandia and Chris met on Instagram when he slid into her DMs. Sandia didn't reply at first, but when Chris tried again, she responded. They have a lot in common. Both are Haitian, both speak Creole, are very family oriented, and like to work out. But Sandia is much more conservative than Chris, who likes to flirt. Though Chris likes Sandia's good girl nature, personality differences and jealousy threaten to interfere with their budding romance. End of synopsis.
See, I didn't know he was Haitian because they didn't touch on it at all in the episode. They made it a point to say she was, but they didn't say he was. So, okay, let me look at my little note here about what I thought of him.
Well, we knew he had an accent. I mean, even Jay said it on her live last night, on another round. It
See, I
she
didn't hear nothing, so that's why I guess I didn't know. I didn't really. I mean, and because my dad is Eastern European. He has a slight accent himself. I don't hear it because I grew up listening to his voice all the time, so I don't hear it. But I remember one time in high school, I was taking French at the time. I was a senior in high school and I was taking French, and he came to my school one time to talk to my French teacher. And my French teacher was like, where he asked my dad where he was from because he detected an accent. But I was like, what is this accent y'all speak of? Because I can't hear nothing. Like I grew up with that all my life. So I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. So that's why I guess I don't hear anything with Chris because it's news to me. But
Well, it's just certain words. Like myself, my accent doesn't come through unless I say certain words, like just like I said the same thing and I still don't know where LaRon hails from. When LaRon said tings, I was like, oh yeah, where is it from? So it's just certain words and certain maybe a flow or rhythm or cadence. I had a neighbor come over the other day and he said something and I said, okay, where is that accent from? And sometimes it, endures you to folks because they're like, oh, you're really listening, but it's just because you have an ear for languages. But yeah, we picked up on it. We didn't know, they didn't say, but now reading the synopsis, they're both Haitian. And listening to Jesse Wutu, I understand with them Haitian young men. Mm.
cause see, I was gonna guess Nigeria personally, but cause the way he's been moving this entire episode, I would, or at least the last. Well, no, yeah, I would no. Never mind. Let's keep it to the entire episode because I was thinking because Yeah, I keep hearing those Nigerian men move like F boys, and he was on his F boy stuff the entire episode. So yeah, I don't know. But I'm glad we got clarification because I was like, I don't get it. Like, where is he from? They need to kind of tell us or something.
I don't understand that. Mm. I
What?
guess, okay, let my how do they say, my toxic trait come through. I don't understand it, his whole, 3 or 4 great dates and then he ghosts, or as you say, they act as F boys. I may not realize I haven't spoken to you because I'm out here dating. I'm out
Mm,
here having a good time. I'm not solely focused on you. Because for
mhm.
me, it's like if you disappear and it's like, oh, I'm going away for work or whatever, I don't speak to you, that's okay because you've made room for someone else.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. Because it's you weren't exclusive. What you're saying is you're not exclusive. So it's not like it seems like what Chris was doing was that he whispered sweet nothings in her ear, making it seem like they were in an exclusive relationship with each other. And here he is in the house at the end of the day talking about he they're not, and her face said it all. Like they like she was confused and hurt by it, and it's well, I mean, uh,
I am very proud of how she handled it.
me too, because it could have gone to a verbal screaming match. I think in their case, it could have gone to that point, instead of because how we got the physical part of it with Alexis and Dom. They could I feel like they could have gone to the other side where they were just doing a verbal screaming match. Um, so I mean, we just need to see how she moves going forward and see if she puts her foot down and confronts him about it. Because he's not going to change unless he decides he wants to go to therapy again, like therapy himself too. So and figure out because it's like, buddy, who hurt you? Because I feel like someone hurt him, whether it was like a parent in his childhood or some girl that he dated. Um,
A girl that he dated and he thought it was serious and she
mhm.
ghosted and disappeared on him, or quite a few girls.
uh, that's reminded me of Eris from Mavs because he did the same thing. He went on a 10-year one night stand with several women. So I'm like, but yeah, it's one of the two. Either the parent hurt him or some girl hurt him, and he's just going the Eris route where he is just wanting the one night stands by choice. So
And they
I,
have a great, she's 27, he's 34. It would be fine if he would let himself be open. He is, again, we got to give him his props. He is an attractive man for the dating market. He is marketable. He is well dressed. He has socks on with his suits. He is marketable.
did he have socks on though? Because from the clip that Kojo showed earlier today, when he was in his solo confessional, he wasn't wearing no socks, and that irks me. Because
That's
I'm like,
fine. That's fine in the confessional. But we out in public at the dinner table before the helicopter arrives, you wearing socks.
mm, that's not consistent though. If you're gonna not be wearing socks, I'll because because let me explain my thought process here. Like when I see no socks on a guy wearing dress shoes, all I think of is foot sweat and then foot fungus.
Can you
So,
take me to Funky Town?
oh
Hey, nothing a little baking soda in the shoe can't handle. Okay? Okay. It's okay.
no. I can't do it. My spirit won't let me do it. If I see it once, you're gonna keep doing it, and it's a no for me. It's a no for me, dog. So as Randy Jackson would say, I'm like, I'm aging myself at this point, but I don't
Yep,
care. I don't care. I
I
don't care.
remember it. It's a no for me, dog. No.
I will die. That's one of the things I will die on is the no sock wearing with the dress shoes. I can't do it. My spirit will.
Hey, he wears it well. I mean, back in the day, a woman showing her ankles would make a man swoon. So men are showing their ankles now. I'm gonna give him that.
Mm.
I'm gonna let him have their ankle showing time. That's okay.
I'll
She's
let you
like,
have it.
no,
I'll let
dog.
you have it. I'm not gonna let you have it, but I
He is in a pressed suit. His clothes have been very well put together. He is dressed for the occasion. He is marketable out there. The ladies will love him. He is
mm,
good for camera, and his mouth is too. Because I'm sure he said some slick stuff in his interviews. So he is good for camera.
mm,
But I'm with her. I'm with her. He I wouldn't have confronted because it's a whole table full of men, and I would just stand to the side and listen. But I would walk out and like, wait, I thought you were putting on a show. I was just part of the audience while I'm walking out. I would have said something. I'd have said something. But but you publicly heard him say that's not my girl. She gonna get a few good dates out of me that the show gonna pay for. So I also want to know what are these great dates he's doing with these girls and then ghosting them, and then he can come back as like, oh my god, and they let him back in.
the reason why they're letting him back in is because they got low self esteem. Because if they didn't want to, if they were healed, they wouldn't be doing all that, like letting him back in, like they
True,
wouldn't let him spin in the block. So I'm like,
but it's also, it could be that I really want a relationship, and this is one of the few decent guys without socks that I've met out here. So I mean, come on now, we got to give it to him. He presents well. If you are in a corporate environment or whatever, he presents well and could go with you in different rooms and around different people. He presents well. You can bring him out in public.
mm,
Like he would be, but I would keep him as a friend. He would be like if I was a single friend and I did not have, and I got to go to an event, I need someone well dressed on my arm. It's like, yo, Chris, I'm gonna need you to bring that suit out. We got to go to this, gala. Would you be my plus one? As long as he's not a relationship person, as long as we cool. But I really feel embarrassed for her that in
mm.
front of all of these men on camera, he's like, "That ain't my girl. I gets girls." I felt embarrassed for her, but
I
she
will
she,
I
she did
will
well.
give him that he at least he didn't say I get B's and HOEs like LeBron was saying. So at least
Right,
say that. So I will give
right.
him the tiniest bit of props for that. But I don't know. I mean, because I mean, and to get into their date, he literally pulled her up to the side of the road and had food out there. I don't even remember what it was. It was like a charcuterie, and then a charcuterie board was another day. But basically, it was like food on the side of the road where dust and all these mosquitoes are at. And I'm like, what? Like I don't. It. That was weird.
So okay, so it's the environment. You see, it I understand what you're saying. For me, it's the thoughtfulness. I would have been there. The mosquitoes would be biting us. So you getting bitten too, but it's the visual effects of it all to see the helicopter coming in over his shoulder. That's all it was for visual effects.
But they couldn't go to like
Have a dinner in an airplane hangar like Virginia and her husband on Maths.
Yeah, I mean, something like that, or like they can go like you know those, I don't know what they're called, but those little overhead thing, like those um I don't even want to call it a bungalow because I'm not even sure what a bungalow is, but that's the first word that came to mind. But like, you know how by the lake there's like this
Gazebo.
yeah, gazebo. Thank you. Like we could go there because at least then you're kind of like by like a pretty lake or something, and you can. But at least you're not off by the side of the road. That the side of the road part is what's killing me. That's what's really killing me because I'm like
It's not the side of the road, but it does look like it. It's barely a road. It looks it's dirt.
I mean it's like those dirt roads because my mom's side of the family, a lot of them come from Marianna, Florida. And if you know where Marianna, Florida is, like there's a lot of dirt roads there. And that's all I could think of is dirt roads, those dirt roads. Because I'm like, what is
Would
going
it
on?
would it have been nicer if he put a rug under and the table was on a rug? I mean,
What are we in, Aladdin? Like, what?
we're trying to make the desert look like an oasis. That's what he was trying to do. I give him effort, you know. He was well dressed even in a jacket in that heat. I got to give him that. The brother presented well on somebody else's dime.
I mean, I mean, he was like a half step above. Who was it?
Ain't no half stepping.
Because he was like a half step above. What was his name? I think it was Aaron. Because wasn't he the one with the dangly earrings? Aaron.
Yes, yes, that
Okay,
was
and he
yes.
was a half step above. Well, no, because I don't even know. Because it's like maybe they're on equal playing field. Because at least with like Aaron, he kind of the only good thing about Aaron was that he kind of went to the what was it by the was it by the lake actually?
Hmm.
Like, it was
Yes,
by a body of water. That's all I remember.
body
But
of water.
yeah, I mean, because at least he went there. But the
He
they're
was in the
really
gazebo. He had a gazebo.
yeah, so they're really on equal playing field. Just one of them, they had their faults with each of them because it's like I keep harping on, it's the side of the road of it all for me because I'm like, can we kind of get away from all the dirt and the food?
So
Like,
we are certainly manifesting for your future mate that dirt road and out in the open spaces need to be in the gazebo and paved road to get there.
please, 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 I can't do it. I can't do it.
Be in a conservatory at the botanical gardens. That'll be better, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
well, I mean, just as long as it's not where a lot of dirt can get into the food in my drinks or whatever, like whatever we're deciding to drink, whether it's alcoholic or not or whatever, like as long as nothing like that can get into my food, I'm cool. So I can't do it.
It's the dirt of it all.
Yes, like because my dad will attest to it will attest to this. Like I don't really like being out, like doing all this extra stuff if I don't have
Oh.
to, because I love my air conditioning. So I'm like, because we little side note, little story time here. My dad and I went to Italy back in beginning of December, and dude almost killed me. Love him to pieces, but he almost killed me because if y'all know Italy, it's hilly. It's very hilly, and it's a lot of cobblestones because it's an old city. Because we went to Rome, so it's a very old city. So I remember when one day of the trip, we walked like had to been like 4 or 5 miles that entire day, and I about near passed out from all that walking because
Wow.
I wasn't really used to it because there's a reason why for that, but which I don't really feel like getting into at the moment. But I needless to say, I wasn't used to walking so much. So it's just
So it's not
So
him. Italy was trying to kill you.
no, I'm fine with it. Italy's cool. Italy's a beautiful place because I can literally sit somewhere because like I took a whole bunch of pictures at like a certain because it was like maybe a half a mile away from the hotel that we were staying at, and I could literally sit there all day and just look at it and be fine. It was him that wanted me to traipse me around all of fucking Rome, uh, trying to kill me. I'm like, Daddy, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, but my wow, please don't kill me. I'm only 31. I was 31 at the time, so it's because it's turned 32 back in January this year. So it's like I was 31 at the time, so I was like, I got so much more life to live. I wanna go see other places. I am trying to die right now. So
He
no,
took you for a leisurely stroll.
yes, and he walks. I mean, he's 6'2", and and I'm 5'2", so he has a whole foot on me, and so he has a longer stride and all that. So I'm like,
Well, hubby and I went to Portugal last year, so that also is a very hilly old place. He's 6'3", but I outpace him because I still have my New York walk that we're going to get there real fast. There is
mm.
no leisurely stroll. He literally has to be like, "Why are we running?
No, why we running?
Why are we running? Why are you almost to the curb and I'm back here?" It just is wild. We have different pace of life.
Mm. See,
So,
it seems like me and Elsa and hubby's gonna be cool like on vacations because it's like we can just sit somewhere and just be like,
oh
look
no,
at
he ain't sitting. He gonna walk and stroll. He wanna stroll and absorb and oh that looks nice, and then stroll again and absorb. And I'm just like, oh that's nice. Click click, take a picture. Oh
it.
what's over there? Click click, take a picture. Let's go.
Yeah, and I don't mind the stroll too either. As long as I can go, because I'm probably like a snail when it comes to walking. So it's like as long as I can do the snail walk, I'm cool. But the it's when y'all wanna it's when y'all wanna do all this like pace walking, like you're a horse galloping down the road or something. Like, like, let me pace myself. I promise I can get there. I just need to pace myself. I need to pace
Gotcha.
myself. So,
I
and
understand.
no, Jay, I am not married. Never been married. Never had any kids. So, um,
She out in this market looking for a husband. Or have the husband look for her.
yeah, had the husband look for me because right now, I told my therapist too this too. Like, I ain't trying to date right now. It's ghetto. There's pee in the water, as they say. So I'm like, I can't do
Or
it.
you gotta get out for him to find you.
Do I have to?
Yeah, because look at these cast of characters who are DMing each other. So
That's
you gotta
exactly
get
why.
out,
That's
get
exactly
out.
my point. Do I have to? Because
Yes, yes. Go do something fun. Go do, work at a soup kitchen and volunteer. Go out. Go out. Do something that you enjoy and fulfilling because he can't find you at home unless he's the delivery man knocking to deliver a package. Now some of them are fine,
I gotta
but you
see.
know,
I gotta see pictures first before I commit. Because the like physical attraction is important to me. So I don't.
right. So
Mm,
that's why you may have to be in person. So you have to be out there. I'm not saying bar or whatever, scene or whatever, but like some places, my girlfriend met her now husband. They apparently, I didn't even know it, are like where single folks go and play board games and brunch or whatever and have a good time in a venue. So they have that out here. So I don't know if what they have for singles that's considered appropriate.
mm. Yeah, I've never been the club or bar type of person, so I mean, yeah, I just had to figure. I had to figure some stuff out, but about where I want to go to meet people. But yeah, I'm like, I was thinking about taking a cruise, but I don't know. I'm not that. The only person I could see, traveling is with, with my dad at the moment, but he hates cruises. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to do solo cruises yet. So I'm like, eh. But I mean, I do want to take a cruise one day though. That is something I want to do.
Yeah, you need to get a girlfriend to go take a cruise, even if it's a singles cruise. But at least I don't know. For me, the whole cruise will be a whole bar on water. It's like we ain't gonna be forever. We gonna be for this 5 or 7 days, and when we go back to port, I don't know you. But that's just my toxic trait. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, back to the topic. Back to the show at
Okay.
hand. It kind of got off on the tangent here.
Hey,
Uh,
that's what story time does.
so but yes, back to what's her face? Sandia and Chris.
Hmm.
Um, so we covered the date. What did you think of the date yourself? I didn't ask you that.
I told you I liked it. Even with the dust of it all and the helicopter coming in and blowing everything away, it's still we are outside. We are, at a lovely table that's laid. You are in an impeccable suit. You look good. You look scrumptious. So it's like I look good and scrumptious. It's like, okay, this is a lovely date. And then here comes a helicopter to take us off into the sunset. So, I mean, it was a wonderful date. He tried to be all cute by like, "Oh, what do you see? What you looking at behind me?" We all hear the helicopter. You could probably feel the daggone blades of the helicopter on its way in. So it was a one. It was for me. It was a nice date. It's got to be inside a dirt road because I guess they're in the desert area of it all. But I liked the date. They were really really nice. I liked how they met each other. That's why it was so disappointing to me how his conversation with the men later. It was very very disappointing because it seemed like a very nice fun date. And but now I'm going to see that date and you holding my hand with the sunset and everything as emotional manipulation. You were really really playing me and you were doing this to get points so that my head will be in the clouds literally and I won't be looking at you, you know, some kind of way. That's what I'm thinking his whole I'll take you on, a few great dates and then ghost is that your head is in the clouds and I'm gonna leave you there to fall and I'm gonna be back. But yeah, it was disappointing to me, but hey, I'm glad we got the gentleman's lounge live.
Well, gentleman's lounge live. What does that mean? I'm sorry. I was like,
Meaning she was present
oh,
while they were
oh,
all lounging
that's
together
right.
talking and she got to hear it directly from him. It was no horse's mouth. It is like, no, I heard Chris say this about
Okay,
me
okay, that's right.
directly.
Okay, I was like confusion for a second. I was like, what are you talking about? Like when did we slip into Ready to Love? I was like,
Well, the gentleman's table. But again, you got a good clear of he ain't gonna protect you, and he gonna co-sign on the man telling you go on from here. Yeah, very disrespectful. Very. I felt hurt for her, and I was disappointed in him. Like we just watched a beautiful sunset. Now, 2, 3 a.m. This is how you treat me and allow me to be treated.
mm. As I said on Kojo's channel, as a fearful avoidant, I guess maybe the reason why is like I'm not really messing with Chris like that because I can see his type from like a mile away, and I'm like, um, I mean, I guess one could say he's emotionally unavailable with how he's operating, but I get maybe it's 'cause, like a different type of Like I don't know. It's like a different, like his whole vibe was just like something I just wouldn't want to be around. And so maybe that's why I wouldn't necessarily, you know, want to be around him. Something else I guess is going on with him that I don't necessarily like, that maybe we didn't um see. And so it's just like maybe I'm picking up on something that we didn't necessarily see on camera, that I just don't, that I can't really pinpoint, but I can sense it, and it's just like I don't really want to deal with that. But
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And he would send something to me that it would be she'll play in my face. But I like I like I like her. I like her. And she was not lurking.
not he was not he. I was thinking that song, "Who's That Creeping in My Window?" Whatever that
Yes.
is. Because I was thinking back to Jay's live last night, and Sean talking about how she was lurking in the background, and so I was just thinking about that for some reason. So I was like,
Yeah. Who's the next couple you wish to go to?
um,
I could get their synopsis together.
I guess we can do Shay and Josh. So I kind of
Shay
talk.
and Josh. Okay. Tennessee and Miami in the house. Okay, Shay and Josh dating 12 years. Josh and Shay first met on Facebook. Shay is the life of the party and Josh is a homebody. They have been dating for 12 years but have a complicated relationship. A few years ago, their relationship hit a rough patch that they are still trying to recover from, especially given Shay's trust issues. There's a lot at stake for this couple. Both are ready to settle down, but trust and location are lingering issues.
That okay, had a light bulb moment just a second ago while you were reading that. So the thing said a few years ago they hit a rough patch. That explains why he has a whole toddler while they're supposedly dating for 12 years.
Yep.
Because I was like, because Kojo was trying to understand like why and how he had a whole baby while they're supposedly together. That explains it. Because what really would have happened is they took a break. That's what it was. That's what it amounted to. They took a break. He went and
The Dwayne Wade of it all.
I wasn't thinking that, but that's a good point. I was trying to keep it cute and not get too
Oh, I'm
graphic
sorry. I'm
description.
sorry.
But I mean, you're cool. I mean, uh, but I was trying to mute myself for a second and try not to be too graphic with what I was trying to say, because I was trying to be nice. So but
I was nice. I was
no,
nice.
you're definitely nice. You're definitely nice, but I wasn't trying to go to that extent, I guess. Not Rafahu. Not Rafahu.
Take a
um,
break. Take a break and have a baby.
yeah,
Okay.
a whole baby, a whole baby. So like,
Yeah,
but
you
yeah.
breaking it. You
So
breaking it off with somebody else is what you're doing. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's not nice.
but yeah, because because I was. It's like the whole situation with Diamond and Aaron, where
Mm-hmm.
he they had to have some sort of rough patch themselves, where I think they said it, but I don't really remember at the moment. But he decided he wanted to go propose, show a ring for another woman on his and you're doing it on your freaking Facebook where she has access to it. Like that's even worse. Like I mean, at least I don't even want to say at least 'cause I don't even know if this is true, but it seems like Josh sort of just did his dirt behind the scenes and or whatever. I don't know.
Well, what do you think of their date? Would that be an acceptable date for you?
Hold on.
The Santa Monica Pier, going to,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
roller
right. Thank you.
coasters.
I thought it was cute. I liked it. Because I would want to go on the Ferris wheel. Because I think didn't they go on the Ferris wheel or something
They
like that?
want to. We saw roller coaster. I'm not sure. I can't remember Ferris wheel, but they may have.
I remember the roller coaster, but I thought they went on the Ferris wheel too. But
Maybe.
um, I thought it was cute. I just um, it's giving that she, like I said earlier, this has been her only relationship that I can tell serious relationship, and this has been her entire adult life.
Yes, because
So
she's 30. He's 32. So they
and
met at 20 and 18
yeah,
online.
and I'm
Well,
just
so his oldest child was about 1 year old.
yeah, yeah. I did the calculations in my head. It was like, wait a minute. I was like, oh, what's this kid? I was like, but yeah. So I don't even know if he even took a break in between when he was with the mother of his first child and him, and um her and Shay, because it he sounds like he's solid, because the way I was watching it on Kojo's channel earlier, it seemed like it was solid, but I mean, I don't know if he's having a kid while they're supposedly in a relationship. That's cause for concern, in my opinion, because like, what?
I agree with you. He does sound solid. He does sound like he wishes to not be of, the hood environment. Like they do want better for both of them, themselves and their kids, and want to settle down and have a good family together. He does say he don't want to go far or for very long away from his kids. So he does value the time that he spends with his kids. Um, but you got to make time for the lady that you wish to have a relationship with. You got to create the time for that. Yes, it may call sacrificing time with the kids, but it could be when the kids are in school or whatever, you make a quick weekend trip to Miami. It's given to me that neither of us can really afford to meet each other in each other's town.
I don't understand how you go 12 years without ever meeting up. Because another story time. So, and I said this on Jay's channel last night. Um, my first boyfriend was I met him online as well. This was in college. I was 21 at the yeah, so I was 21 at the time. Um, and I was just about like I just found out I was transferring from my 2 year college to a 4 year in the fall, and so um, I met him over the summer, like in like June of 2013. So um, but we had Skyped and all that. So we'd seen each other and like we seen each other's faces and we knew that we weren't catfishing each other. So um I met I met him later that fall because I was in Virginia at the time and he was in Maine. So um That was just, yeah, it was. But yeah, I don't know how you can go 12 years and not have met up. I don't I don't get it. So it's just uh it's weird. It's very weird how you can. I mean, at least the other people, like, they kind of have like kind of an excuse, maybe. Except who is it? Millie and Greg, who are literally in the
Mm.
same city and they're dating for 3 years, supposedly dating for 3 years, and they haven't met. Even though it's just,
Are
but
we dating? That's why we are we dating? We just
um,
talking.
um, but yeah,
But I like this couple. I can see I want to believe this couple. Um though Shay, I will say that that is not exactly um how can I say it? Um roller coaster attire for a date.
oh yeah, I was like, girl, you're about to get on this roller coaster with that dress on. Like, I noticed that. I was like, because they had the slits up the thighs. I was like, and it was short. I was like, please, what in
But
the? I
this
mean,
is
I
a
get it.
Miami girl.
I mean, this is where I think I blame production because we heard at the beginning of the episode that the guys were planning secret dates and they knew that, but the production didn't tell her that they were going to like a play. They didn't even have to say where she was going. All they had to do was say, hey, you're gonna go to a place where you can't, where you kind of need to at least wear sneakers and jeans or something.
Why would you think it's any different than Jersey Shore?
I've never been to Jersey Shore, so
Or
I
you haven't seen the show either?
no.
Okay, so it is, it's the boardwalk stuff, and some people are in jeans, some people are in shorts or whatever, and there are some people who are in the bikini top and the the poom poom shorts. So I think
But the shorts are not addressed though.
right, but I think she was thinking it was a pier, and then after the pier we go in for drinks somewhere. I'm thinking that's what she thought, but then again, we don't know if what production told her. But when I saw her dress, I said, "Oh, girl, she is bringing Miami to LA." All about Miami because she brought the jeans jacket, so she knew. She kind of partially knew.
Well, that's that LA stuff though, because I lived in California for a couple years, and I wasn't down that far down south. I was more in like the on the coast near the center of California, and it's at least there was dry too, so it was pretty dry. So and it gets pretty cold even where I was at. It got pretty cold um at night when the sun wasn't there because it
Hmm.
was it was pretty much like 60 between 60 and like 70 degrees all year round, but it definitely by like the time the sun went down it was like pretty cold. So I wasn't really that like surprised about a jean jacket, but it was just the dress that was like really off-putting to me. So that's why I was like, why are you wearing a dress? That's why I was like, I was confused, but like, why didn't production say, can you at least forewarn her about what they potentially could be doing? And they could at least said something a little bit more, but I don't know.
Well, many of us would have dressed differently, but again, as I said, it could be her Miami roots coming out. This is my first time meeting him. I'm gonna put on this dress that is making my body bodying and have him see all that I am. This is her best dressed, or this is her first impression dress. It's not what I would have worn for a roller coaster ride and then be happy to be on the roller coaster. I just wouldn't have done it. But he seems like a chill dude. He seems calm, cool. But sometimes a calm, cool is just hiding, a depth there. But he certainly tried to stand up in the whole Dom Alexa situation. We saw that he was trying to tell Dom, "Hey, hey, man, stop it, cool it down." But I think she was when they first met or whatever. I don't think he was prepared for her being that warm and receptive to him, and the kissing and the oh let's go shower together, because he's coming in there like I have a toddler that I've had in the midst of this relationship. How happy is she going to be to see me?
See, this is where the whole I think that everyone would just seems like they were hot in the pants to get it in because otherwise I don't really get it. Why, like, how? That's why they're doing the whole struggle bus with these 12 years of situationship. So
Mm. I just love how I'm going to say new generation is defining relationship. I need a definition because it certainly has changed.
mm, yeah.
So who's next?
um, Joanna and Aaron. 'Cause I have a question
Joanna
about
and
Aaron.
Aaron, the dangle of it all.
Oh,
Joanna and Aaron J, dating 9 months. Joanna, aka Jody, and Aaron met on social media, connecting on their creative and artistic similarities. They describe their relationship as being in the dating stage, but are both looking to define their bond better. Aaron is younger and has some insecurities, while Jody is a certified sexologist who lives a sexually open lifestyle. She has strict boundaries and concerns if physical chemistry will be present. Now, for that age difference, I know he is 27 to her 31. So 4 years, not that big. But it's very interesting that she is a certified sexologist.
okay. I heard mixologist, and then I was like, wait, you got another bartender over here? Okay. I was like, never mind. um,
Certified sexologist. So the romance novel of it all.
mm, okay.
Did you like their date?
I I did. I thought. I mean, I didn't like how she was acting all the way, but um, I thought it was also a little cute. Um, and trying to think. I think that he. So I know you said you watched the queer version of the Ultimatum. Did you watch the original 2 seasons too?
No, I think I saw only one of the original seasons. But
Okay.
I watched the second season of the original one, but I did love the queer version.
Okay. Hopefully it's because I let me see something because I'm trying
But
to think.
I like their date. I like that but he was, a little more
Oh
dressed
yeah.
than her casual look.
Because the reason why I was asking if you saw the original Ultimatum was because their whole dynamic was giving to me. And if I don't know if Jay's seen it either, but Trey and his uh I think fiance now, Rhea. It
Isn't
was
she significantly older than him?
who Jay Trey and
Trey
Rhea?
and Rhea.
No, I think he is 29 and she's 25. Or
Oh,
was
now I'm thinking
25.
about wrong couple. Okay.
Um, but they're it seems like kind of like that dynamic where he seems more into her than she is into him. Because as Kojo said, she seemed to be have gotten the ick when she walked up to him at their date. And but I mean I said in his chat that I thought she had the ick before that point, but definitely by the time their date happens, it seemed like she had the ick. So and I that's what I got from Rhea, but I mean maybe it was just edited in that season, and that's why it was just it seems like like Trey was more into Rhea than she was into him, and that's kind of what I was getting a little bit. Also, I was getting a little of Lisa and Brian from that season too, because Lisa seemed pretty controlling, pretty controlling. And she seemed a little controlling too. Or maybe there's a better word for it, and I don't. Maybe you may have a better word for it, but that's what I was getting.
Well, reading their synopsis, and I do agree with you. I think it was before then. The way she dressed for meeting up with him at first, it didn't seem like she put much effort into it. It was jean shorts, a tank top, and a short kimono style. It didn't scream to me first date. It didn't scream that to me, because even that other young lady, Greg's young lady, um daggone it, Millie. Even Millie wore a very lovely slinky dress. She still got on the lake and was pedaling with him on the Swan. But I'm just, Jody didn't seem very, prepared to impress him at all, even on first meeting. So yeah, I would say she had the ick before she even got on the plane to get to LA. But looking at the synopsis, they said they met and bonded off their artistic and creative similarities. I'd like to know what her creative similarity is. Because he does, now that I've read this, he does seem to me, as for the artist that I have encountered, he does seem the artsy type. Now it kind of like blends well for me that, okay, he's the artsy type. The more gentle personality, but they're looking to define their bond better, and he has insecurities and she's a certified sexologist. I mean, I wonder if Lamar would have put her off from Ready to Love, but let's not go there. Let's
I don't. He could have, but I think she would have at least been a little bit more receptive to him, because he at least seems to have the teeniest bit of charm. I mean, it's not all the way there, I don't think, but I mean, he seems to have like a little something, even though he's rather
abrasive.
focused.
Hmm.
He seems to even have a little bit of charm at his big age. And how old is he? How old is Aaron again? He's what,
27.
27. So yeah, I think he might be a late bloomer, if you will, and he just doesn't
Yes.
have the swag or the charm or whatever you want to call it. And that's why he is so awkward, at least on the when they first meet up. So um
Right. And his life experiences. He doesn't have many. Because I'm sorry, I have a 22-year-old and he doesn't know how to open a wine bottle. I'm about to be like, "Hey, do you know how to open up a wine bottle? Let's get some tutorials in here." But it also screams that he's going to do this in the present and not even look it up on YouTube before he goes there. Or does he think, most wine bottles are twist caps? I need some more information from Aaron. I need some more. But he booked his flight. They were supposed to meet, and he lost his ID.
Wait, that was whole conversation behind that because I think I kind of tuned out for a second at that part. So I was like, wait, what happened with the ID? So
Yeah,
that
he lost the ID.
well,
He does not drink.
he was drinking that day, that's for sure. Or at least it seemed that way. I don't know. I don't know if he actually drank it, but he seemed to drink that day. So
But that's what she was saying. Why would he bring wine if, it seemed like nothing he could do would be right,
mm,
because I can understand why he would bring wine if that's what she likes. I don't have to partake, but I am certainly open to you having
right,
the wine.
and
So
that's all he really could have said.
she was
I
just,
mean,
for me, in my notes I put, she's overanalyzing. She's overanalyzing and she's hypercritical. But
mm,
I'm wondering if she chose Aaron because he is that gentle personality. Because you saw what she and Dom are from the same neighborhood.
mm,
She and Dom are from the same neighborhood. They knew the
mm,
same street area. So I wonder if, looking at Dom, what is she's exposed to with dating, if she chose Aaron and his dangly earrings, because that's probably what I need rather than the Doms of the world.
mm. And, I mean, I would agree with that, except she doesn't seem that receptive to that type of guy. So, like, to the errands of the world, dangly earrings and all. So I'm like, I think she's really used to that type of dude like Dom. So yeah, I mean, I don't think she's. It's giving. What's that song by Sierra? With 50 Cent. Um, I can't remember the song title, but that song that Sierra and 50 Cent had set collabed on. Um, what is it? Sleep.
I can see the video in my head.
Right, I can see it in my head, but I can't think of it. Um, oh my,
But yeah,
wow.
but she's like, well, who doesn't have two IDs? Well, there are some people in this world that don't have passports.
Can't leave them alone. That's what it's called. That's what it
Yep,
is.
yep.
There we
Can't
go.
leave them alone. Yep.
Uh, so sorry, that was gonna bug me if I didn't figure it out. So that's
I
why I was.
understand. I understand. I understand. But the whole two IDs thing. He
Mm,
has a driver's license. He probably doesn't have a passport. That's what she's probably thinking. And even if he did, she's assuming he doesn't have two IDs, or maybe he told her that. But by the time he got to the airport and realized he didn't have his ID, in order to go back to the house to get the second one to come back, he wouldn't have had the
made it.
time.
Mm, mm.
But it was like,
It-
who doesn't have two IDs? It's like, okay. She looks like she'll be looking to trade in for a newer model.
yeah, I mean, because I mean, I have a passport too, so I don't. I mean, I don't carry that passport around all the time because I don't. I mean, unless I'm going out of the country, I don't really need to bring it around with me everywhere. But so I can understand. Oh, hey, Dorica. Um, but so I don't. I mean, I'm paranoid about my stuff, like my cell phone and my wallet. So like, if because I feel naked without them. So if I don't have, and my cell phone too, because we can't do anything with our cell phones. But without those three, I get paranoid because I remember one time, again, another story time. I remember in high school, and I was living in the DC area for high school, and um, I had gone to the library and I had put my phone in my back pocket. And I think I typically, hey Sean, how's it going? Um, I typically I put it either in my front pocket or I guess once in a while my back pocket, my cell phone. And so I put my cell phone in my back pocket this time, came out of the library, went like 5 feet, and I was like, where's my cell phone? I started freaking out and I went back inside and tried to figure out where I may have left it. The whole time was in my back pocket. So it's like I mean, maybe that's just me, my paranoia, but I don't know how you forget your ID, but I don't know.
Right, but definitely I want to know what Jody, what her artistic like side is, because if they're saying in the synopsis that she and Aaron, kind of have met and bonded on their artistic side, and she is a certified sexologist, it ooh, I just I'm wondering about them. Because none of this came out in the episode. I'm like,
Exactly.
the synopsis is certainly eye opening to a lot of things. So he does seem like the artsy type. I'm gonna give Aaron and his dangly earring the artistic license to just be.
Like I don't know why Owen is holding these synopses close to their chest. I mean, I don't get it. Like all this would have been good to find out. And
Right.
this is where, because I don't remember who said it. I don't know if you, Jay, or Sean said it last night or something, but it would have been nice to get these people broken up. Like we stagger these people in the first and second episodes, so that way we can get to know them a little bit more. But all this is like the bullet train going 200 miles an hour, and we're supposed to keep all this stuff in our heads the first night, and I'm getting whiplash. What is going on? I don't.
Because we don't even know what these people do for a living apart from her, and now him. We know he's in the artistic realm. The other folks who read the synopsis, we don't know what their jobs are.
We can keep it a buck. He's a rapper. Okay, let's not mince words here. He's a rapper.
So that's artistic. Okay, he's an artiste. Oh my gosh, the dangly earrings of it all. He's just a rapper. It's like he's an
No,
artiste.
uh, that is an art form. Sure, I will never knock rap because I can't rap to save my life, but I will never attempt to, because that looks very hard. But it was just the fact that you were trying to put it all in a nice little bow for me. So I was like, let's just let's go home
Hey,
with this. He's a rapper, okay?
they said she doesn't seem like a rapper, so they put it in artistic. So he could be a rapper, and he could, be Basquiat on the side. He could be multifaceted as an artist. Let's not put the brother in the dangly earring box, okay?
I'm still here. I just need to get something.
I thought you were just going to die laughing in the background.
I mean, I still can, but I mean,
So she is from Illinois. He's from Georgia. So, mm, 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 mm. So I want to know, in looking back, because in the cast synopsis now we could see some things. Oh, now I can see something else different. Folks were saying Alexis is from New York City. Alexis is from Texas. Mm.
not Bodangle, Jay. Ma'am, are you still tired? Because it's been like 2 hours, and you're still.
So see, now Sean is saying I'm an artiste as well. I can create a narrative. So see, I'm an artist as well. That's what I'll take that.
I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna let that lay. I'm gonna let that lay.
So which which couple would you like to go to next so we can read
Um,
the synopsis?
Sienna and Brandon.
Okay, Sienna and Brandon. Hold
Did
on.
we wait? Did we talk about them yet or no? I
No,
thought.
we have not.
Okay.
Sienna is from New York, and Brandon is from Florida.
Oh my god, snooze. I'm sorry.
They have been dating 10 months. Sienna and Brandon first met on Instagram after Sienna was drawn to Brandon's travels around the world and DM'd him. Brandon was intrigued by her forward nature, and the two hit it off. Sienna is a straightforward, independent girl from the Bronx, and Brandon is a military kid who spent most of his childhood overseas. Sienna has hesitations dating a man with kids, while Brandon, despite being a social butterfly, admits he is fearful of getting hurt in love again. See, that puts them in perspective as well. So he has traveled the world as a military kid. So he has encountered the Italian cooking and all of that, knows how to pronounce certain things. So I mean, I'm gonna file that away. I'm assuming she has no kids. And I would ask, where are his kids? Since he's a man that travels abroad, where are his kids?
Well, didn't he say he only had one though? Only one child?
Okay, well then cat whoever wrote the synopsis needs to say dating a man with a kid instead of a man with kids.
Yeah. See, or maybe I heard wrong, and I just completely missed the whole kids part. But I don't know. Um. Okay, so they did the cooking class. I thought, I mean, I don't know if I have that much on them because they didn't really show them that much, so maybe I was just not really.
Yeah, the synopsis says a man with kids, so maybe he talked about one kid.
Yeah, he sure was helping her what pronounce her vowels. It was a kindergarten or first grade lesson lesson plan going on in that dinner. So that
The
sure
whole
was
that's all, folks.
that. Oh my god. The fact that I know that is scary.
I said he must have a young kid. I was like, that must be a young kid.
But yeah, like I said, there I don't know if I have much on them because they didn't show them that much. So I guess that's why I kind of wanted to go there real quick because I was like, I don't really have much. Maybe
Yeah,
he
because
really
now
asked me something. I don't know.
now I can look at him and her in a different perspective. But I'm okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna go as far as that she doesn't like him, but I could see her hesitation. If he travels so much, he has kids. I don't know her sense of travel. And I wonder if too, since he's traveling so much, that military kid thing, like he's always gone, is he ever going to settle down? Is he ever going to settle
That,
down, be in one place?
yeah, and I guess I understand that because I'm not a military brat myself, but I moved around a lot, so I get the aspect of because I was thinking about this recently. Is like sometimes I feel like I get I'm in one place for too long sometimes, and so I feel that sometimes the urge to like get up and go some like move somewhere else once in a while. So because literally just recently thought about that in the last 6 months. So that's I mean, so I get what you mean. So I mean, it's not exactly the same, but I mean, I feel I guess sort of the sentiment of what you're trying to get at. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I get a little unraveled myself, but that not a military brat. Um, but my family has always traveled. My grandfather would say you do at least 3 trips a year. Something locally, be a tourist in your own town. So do something local, staycation, they call it
Mhm.
now. Do something outside of your state. So you see something outside of your realm and then something international. So when I had a job years ago when my eldest was just a toddler, I used to be gone like twice a month from Thursday to Sunday. And you would think it was crazy, especially having a toddler, but I had a great village. You'd think it was crazy. But when I stopped traveling and we were in the same house constantly, I was like, oh my God, why can't I get a suitcase and go somewhere? I need to just travel and go somewhere.
Yeah, and I guess for me, it's like my whole wanting to like get up and move is like because I I wasn't really always on like an airplane going somewhere because I wouldn't be going in between my mom and my dad's house. through an airplane all the time, but because my dad he would drive um across the country quite often to come see me because I remember um when because he lived in the DC metro area for quite a long time, and so um even when I was like living in Florida or living in Indy, he would drive from there, and particularly in when I was living in Indy, I remember I would go back and forth or with him like while he drove, and I remember just like loving sitting in the passenger seat and just looking out the window and watching the scenery go by. So I guess that's kind of what I like, what I was always thinking of. But
Would you like that date?
what do you mean?
Would you like their dates, Brandon and Sienna,
Oh,
cooking class?
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I would
Okay.
because maybe I don't um like cooking a lot, and I don't enjoy it. I mean, I will make something because need to eat, but I don't enjoy the aspect of cooking. So
For me, it will be team building, and if I make a mistake, how would you redirect or correct me? It would totally tell me whether we can work together and figure things out together.
and maybe for me, I have to think on what exactly that would be for me, but for me, cooking wouldn't be how I would do that.
Gotcha.
How I would go about it.
Okay. Because my thing is, some we have made this meal together for us to eat. But that's what resonates with me.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Um.
So we'll look at this couple. Now I understand why he's wearing these artistic shirts and his shirt is all open and stuff. So
I didn't notice that, but okay. Like I'm glad I didn't notice it. 'Cause I was like, okay, because I don't be paying attention to people's outfits like that. Because I'm just not like a person who just has like is into fashion all that much either. So, but
me
which
neither.
is weird because I noticed
No fashion sense.
I noticed Shay's outfit, which is hilarious to me because like I said, I'm not really the fashionista type. So I'm like,
That's a Miami girl though. As soon as I saw that Shay's dress, I was like, that's Miami.
mm,
Okay, so who should we go to next?
um.
Because we have how many? Two more couples. You have Millie and Greg, and you have Diamond and Aaron H.
Let's do Millie and Greg. And I will be right back.
Both California. Okay, I'll just read the synopsis. Millie and Greg with two G's. Dating 3 years. Millie and Greg met on social media, liking posts here and there, and even matching a few times on dating apps. Apps plural. Surprisingly, they live just 30 minutes from each other, but have never met. Millie is high maintenance and wants an alpha male to make her feel secure so she can embrace her true feminine side. Greg has been a player for a long time, but is ready to leave it behind for Millie, if she is indeed the one. Both admit they have love for each other, but are skeptical if it can grow to be more than just friendship and attraction. So that does tell us a lot. They are 30 minutes away from each other in LA.
mm,
That's a piece of the puzzle we were missing in our recaps before. 30 minutes away.
which is like an hour and a half LA time essentially. From what I keep hearing is like that traffic is terrible. That's how that's like an hour and a half.
What if it's 30 minutes with traffic?
That's even worse. Like if it really doesn't take it really takes like 30 minutes, then what in the world are we doing here? And especially given that he is a great value version of Lenny Kravitz.
Great value. Oh my gosh, love it.
I added the great value part because I told you last night, he reminded me of Lenny Kravitz a lot. It's just that he needed a shape up or something. Like he needed to get like a haircut or something. Cause it like and to get the sideburns down or something. Cause it like he was almost there, but then the hairdo was kind of taken away from him. With I mean, because I don't know. It was just, but yeah, it was. I don't.
What about his nose ring? You're fine with a nose ring?
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
Lenny Kravitz have one? Yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean,
asking.
Lenny Kravitz is a good looking man for like what 50 something.
He's a good looking man. I don't care his age. He
I'm
is
like,
a good looking
look,
man.
I mean, telling you, beautiful man, absolutely beautiful man, and I just, Greg was just like, and it's spelled Greg with two G's. That's what
Yep.
kind of took me out. Was a little bit was like it was Greg with two G's, and I'm like, because he was sitting there with like his shirt kind of open. I'm like, and it looked like his shirt was kind of open in the confessional. I was like,
He got to show you the cross. He got to show you he's God fearing. He got the cross right there.
the cross is also what kind of took me out a little bit too, because it's like it was literally on his like right here on his throat,
Yes.
like kind of and I know
Yeah.
no, I don't have any ill will towards tattoos because I have two myself, but it was the placement that was a little off putting to me, and it was just that and face
Well,
tattoo like face
we will
tattoos
talk.
kind of like
We will talk offline as to the type of cross that is.
okay. Okay. But yeah, no, I mean, he was really trying to be in his Lenny Kravitz era. I'm not mad because, like I said, he's a beautiful, beautiful man. And he really has that charisma and sex appeal going on for him. So good choice, in my opinion, for trying to emulate somebody. Um,
But does
it's also
Lenny Kravitz does wear the hoochie daddy shorts?
does he? I know he wears the
Yes.
leather pants, but the hoochie daddy shorts.
Yes, if you follow him on Instagram, like I do, you will see when he's on vacation in the Bahamas and so forth, he wears very short shorts.
Well, he knows he's sexy and he flaunts it, so I'm not mad.
You made that song go into my head. I'm sexy.
I know. It was kind of went through my head when I was saying it. I was like, but I mean, I mean, I wasn't really ever a Prince fan when he was alive, or even now. Really, I'm gonna be full disclosure here, but I know Prince was he knew he was sexy, and he just let that play out whenever he was on stage. I know, because
See, this is how people could talk and learn so much about each other. I did not know you were not a Prince fan. This is truly going to hurt our relationship.
oh damn. I mean, maybe I just need to get like start playing some of his songs because like because when I was growing up with my mom, like she would play a lot of like Brandy sort of types of music and um sort of that sort of R&B type of music. It wasn't really like
No, we got
Prince.
to define Prince. Prince before he was saved or Prince after he was saved?
I didn't know there was a difference. So see,
There
this is
is.
why I'm like I need to start listening to some of his stuff because I'm like, I
Because when
mean,
I saw him in concert, it was there were certain songs of his he would not sing because it's against his beliefs at the time.
At least he knows, or knew, I should say. Sorry.
Yep,
Um,
he was a Jehovah's Witness.
so as long as he knows. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the topic at hand. um, yeah,
Greg with two
like,
G's.
I mean, it's sort of giving. It was giving a lot of like they were in a situationship and they weren't really serious, like Kojo said, because
It
it
said they
wasn't.
were matched a few times on the dating apps. That means it's many, more than one app.
But remember, Alexis and Justin from Mass, they matched on whatever Hinge. It was Hinge. Yeah, it was Hinge. They matched on Hinge. She swerved him. He stalked her and found her on Instagram, and she still swerved him. So it, this is what I'm saying. Like this, it just seems like a back and forth on Instagram, here for a good time, not a long time, as Jay would say. So, because how you 30 minutes away, you still haven't met after 3 years? 3 years. That's like 12 years, basically. I mean, I, maybe I have a different perspective, but I don't know.
Sorry. Okay, put it in perspective. Met my husband online, and we met each other after a week. He lives about an hour and a half away. He drove to my town to meet after a week. So again, 30 minutes ain't that much. 30 minutes ain't that much. That to me now, that puts them in perspective. We know they were playing, but 30 minutes, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't. I don't get it, because it's like if I can manage to go all the way from Virginia to Maine with my ex boyfriend in college, I don't know how in the world y'all they couldn't do anything in the same city today's like
Today's
climate.
environment.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And they're
Not just
going out. Apparently, they're going out. I mean, so if we're only 30 minutes away, there must be some restaurants that we're frequenting, the same. I mean, golly.
I, I don't know. It's and maybe everyone on the Kojo channel was right. This is given production plant, because this doesn't sound. We need the whole story, because this doesn't sound right.
Right.
This don't sound right.
Or as Kojo said, it could be a production plant. They could be an actor and an actress, you know.
It's the way you said actor for me.
See, since Dangly Aaron J, I was artiste, actor, actrice. I gotta do that for him because I'm now seeing him as an artiste. Okay, I'm trying to lighten it up a bit, make us all laugh. But yeah, Greg, he didn't want to mess things up. But I think there's something he just don't like. But let's get this because I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with the forehead kiss, and do ladies like the forehead kiss?
Did that really happen on screen? Because I don't like. I must not have been paying attention, because I don't remember this.
They were talking, and she was telling him it was a wonderful date, and she appreciated it. He got up, got to her side, kind of like a side hug, and he kissed her forehead.
I must have missed it, because I didn't see that.
It wasn't very long, but I just, that was a question I had. Is like, is is the forehead kiss acceptable? Is that what's happening? He's not too forward, wanted to give her a kiss. I mean, for me, the hooey daddy shorts and the forehead kiss of it all, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't speak, because I've never had a forehead kiss done to me before, so I don't know. maybe we need to ask her, like get her up on one of these channels and ask her or something, because yeah, I don't know what this chokehold, these forehead kisses got on people, but apparently got them in a chokehold. So, um,
See,
maybe I just
for
didn't see
me,
it
for
wrong.
me, culturally, a forehead kiss is like what your uncle may give you, or for me, it wouldn't be a romantic partner. You know.
See, CJ, that's the only time I've ever seen forehead kisses was when Tay Diggs was doing it in Brown Sugar and um The Best Man. That was the only times I've ever seen it. It was those two instances. Everywhere else, I've never seen it done in real life. So I'm like, what? I mean, I don't know.
So yeah, so I wonder if that's Greg's little romantic touch, like, oh, I'm gonna do a forehead kiss. That's his shtick.
Mm.
I wonder.
I don't know. Maybe he need to make up for that paddleboard stuff that he was doing, because I don't know.
I like that.
Don't take me on no paddleboard, because if I gotta work like sweat on this date, then stay away from me. It's like my daddy traipsing me all over Rome in December. Like, you're trying to kill me. And we're in the middle of the lake, though. Like, we're in the middle of the lake. Like, don't get me anywhere near water. Like, on water, in water, nothing on a
And she
first.
was in a cute dress. She got on there and she was pedaling. Ariadne said no. No. So wait a minute. When I saw that, I thought of, when you go to some cities, like out here in Savannah, Georgia, there are these drinking. I don't know if you saw, Ready to Love had it a while ago, a drinking kind of caravan where you pedal while you're drinking, and it takes you on a scenic tour of the city. I'm guessing you wouldn't want to do that either.
As long as someone else is paddleboarding the boat, then that's fine. If I can just sit back and relax,
No, there's like
okay.
a bicycle. You're pedaling like on a bicycle. It's
Hell
like
no.
you and like it's like it can fit 8 people on this thing, and you're pedaling like your bicycle riding through the town.
No. No, no. Like, if I got, like I said, if I got to sweat in my good clothes that I put on for you to see me in, no, no, no. Like, I'm gonna be annoyed. I'm gonna be really annoyed because I'm sweating through my clothes for you. Because you wanna sweat. Like, if I wanted to do a workout, I would be home doing a workout. I can do that by myself. I don't need you to do that. So no, not at all.
Too funny. Too funny. I don't mind it because it'll tell me, even if I just what if I just, half-heartedly pedaled, I'll see how you would react to that too.
Hardly pedal. You trying to make me do all the work? Is that what
No,
you're
if
saying?
I no, I'm saying if I was in Millie's position, and half-heartedly pedal, and he got to do all the work, how would he react? It's also, you can see people in certain situations. Now, I need to know where this house is, because if they're 30 minutes from each other in their real life, and now production has this house, did we have to drive an hour away to get to this house? Because we're in LA filming?
I
That even looks worse.
I don't know.
Mm-mm. Okay. So, last one.
Um.
Diamond and Aaron H.
Oof.
Diamond is from Florida, Sanford, and he is from California. Yay.
Mm-mm.
Dating 5 years. Aaron and Diamond with a Y, met on Facebook, and the two hit it off with their mutual upbringings and great conversation. They both are in love with one another and hope to solidify their relationship with a proposal, but have hit some rocky roads along the way. Diamond questions his faithfulness, especially after learning of his many female friends.
Mm. It's giving Derek Jackson. I'm sorry.
He's the one with the red hat. He's the one with the hat.
Okay, yeah, that okay. So I was just looking at his picture on the website, and I was like, so he was the one that had the hat on, the pimp hat on, that as I would say. So yeah,
And he's the one that told Chris he playing too many games.
and he's 51, girl, 51. Like,
what's wrong with his age?
I mean, he's out here being a Derek Jackson and a Chad. No, I'm not even gonna finish that name. The he who should not be named. He's out here being he who should not be named and a Derek Jackson in these streets at 51.
And he's 41.
He's 41. I thought you said
He's
51.
41. She's 41. I thought
she was 44.
okay.
But he specifically is 51. So he's out here doing all this stuff at these two people, and I'm like, what for what? What's the reason? Who hurt you, baby? Who hurt you? Like,
they're both PKs. They're both preachers' kids.
And they're the worst ones, to be honest, because the preacher's kids tend to be the most out there of all the kids, because they were so repressed as growing up that they don't know what to do with themselves once they get 18. So they're out here doing, as I guess people in church say, the devil's work, because they don't know how to act. I'm like, I don't know.
It's giving, I don't want to grow old alone, and I feel my age creeping up on me. That's what it's giving. Because I'm sorry, you propose to someone else, or in the other case of the other person, you have a baby between. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
And then what really killed me was the fact that this happened like what 2 or 3 years ago. You were literally holding on to this for like years. I mean, I hold on to stuff too, but I'm not gonna wait until I see you in person to do all like that. Like, look, I can hold a grudge like nobody's business. I'm not gonna lie. That's toxic as anything. So I'm not gonna even front about that. But that is such a time waster. Like, I would have been just like completely gone and like ghosted you and made you think that I died or something, because you hadn't heard from me, because that
is a Chris. You gonna ghost me?
Yeah. I mean, I won't. I won't double back and be like, like, and do all the extra stuff with the sex stuff. But I mean, I will sure ghost you for sure. That no, can't do it. I value especially now where I am now. I value my peace of mind too much to be just dealing with that. I cannot.
Okay.
That's just.
But I agree with you. She shouldn't have waited to get on the show to then talk about how you don't like, certain things. You should be talking. But again, it's been what, 5 years? 5 years? I'm sorry, I can't do years. I can't be doing years. I can't be doing months. I gotta meet to know if you staying around or if I need to just cut you off. I need quick and in a hurry decisions. We gotta meet. We doing this or not? We can do long distance after we meet, or it can't be completely long distance. Facebook? Golly.
I don't know. I just this is what, like, I think I asked this before, but like, what were these people doing? Like, were they just not video chatting or talking, or at the very least talking on the phone or something? Because Skype is literally free. That's how I talk to my dad, because he's retired and living back, as he calls it, the old country. And so Skype is literally free. Free 99, people. Like, You can just literally make an account with your email address and just go ahead and talk for free. You don't even have to have, all you need is an internet connection. Go down to the freaking library, your public library, get on their free internet and Skype with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need internet of your own.
Right. Right. But again, we
So
have to look at their ages, 40s and 50. They're probably strictly on Facebook
even that's
talking to them.
free.
Yeah, it is.
Like, we have too many ways to video chat nowadays that are free to be doing this whole waiting until you meet in person bull crap. I was gonna this show just they specifically exhausted me, specifically Diamond, because I'm like,
Diamond with a Y.
I don't. Some part of me feels like she changed her name to that with a diamond with a Y, but also part of me believes that her mama did that. So I these names. I really shouldn't talk because I have a unique name, but I mean at least mine is like the original spelling though. I guess that's what.
I understand, and it could be that, children with unique names have their own thing. So it could be an alias she's going by for the show.
I hope so.
But either way, I think him trying to propose to this other lady has really put a real chink in her armor.
I mean, sis was still upset 3 years later. Hey V. But she was still.
Would you ever get over that? I mean, come on now. You knew he was proposing because you saw the picture on Facebook.
True.
I mean,
But
would
I
you
guess
ever get over that? I'll get over it enough to be in a nice house in Cali, but
I guess the whole issue I keep coming back around to is that she waited until she met up with him, and it's like because like I remember this dude a few years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, and he never told me that he was, to put it mildly, trouble with the law, and he calls me up from jail
or his
and
one phone call.
he basically, and I was like, I don't ever talk to me again, because if you're not gonna even be honest with me about any of the things that you're going through, then that because you're taking away my ability to make an effective decision. But if I'm okay with this or not, I mean, I wouldn't have been okay with it either way, but you still took the decision out of my hands. So
How
I
long were
mean,
y'all dating?
we hadn't even gone out on a date yet because didn't want to do he didn't want to do anything. Like, he didn't want to
Gotcha.
meet up with me. So like that's what I mean. It's like even in
But
that
why
whole
would you? Why would you think I would be appropriate to be your one phone call? That'll be my question.
I
What's the thought process?
I don't know. I
Mm.
That's what I didn't get either, because I'm like, if you knew all this shit was going on, then why come to me? Like, I don't get it. Why
Mm.
are you coming to me? Like,
Because hoping you'd be receptive and you'd help, and he probably is hiding it from other people.
man, he could have. I don't know, but I
Hey,
mean,
I've had a dude I was dating get into an accident at work and had the hospital call me.
what?
Yeah, I was shocked.
How long into the relationship was this?
Okay, define relationship, and then we'll define. We
Dating.
were
Yeah, how long into dating did this
okay,
happen?
right. So we were dating probably a good 2 months.
Ew.
We're dating 2 months. He had kids. I have kids. We were getting to the point of, okay, we're going to independently meet each other's kids because it was like 2 months of every weekend, every weekend. And he would come by my job and we would have lunch dates. So it was a lot. And then he got hurt and then had the hospital call me. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? And it didn't sound very nice at the time, but I'm not a doctor. So it turned it turned out and it was over the summer. Yes, it was over the summer because his kids were visiting their mother's families. He had custody of his kids, full custody.
Mm.
And that's why I looked at him and like the courts decided you should have custody of a girl and a boy. Yeah, then you can't be as bad, but I'm still going to do a background check. Um, but when I went to the hospital, it was very enlightening to me because you see my very, harsh personality and, jovial at times, but I'm very biting with my words at times. But this was the first person to really verbalize that. He was like, I knew I could count on you and you were a comfort, you were a comfort, you were this and things I had never heard associated with me.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, it's just a drug speaking because you're, on
That
morphine or
medical
something.
attention.
Right. It's like, okay, it's wonderful compliment. And then when he recovered and stuff, because he was out of work for like 3 days, and he was off of meds and stuff, and he said it again, and I was like, okay. Um, but that's the avoidance in me. The avoidant me is like, okay, whatever. But his first meeting my kids was exactly that after that accident because he did not want to stay in the hospital. He was very fearful. He had bad experiences. His family had bad experiences. So they said someone has to stay with him. Um, so I had to call my kids at home and say, hey, the gentleman mommy was saying you're going to meet
Is
is in this position and needs to be taken care of. Is it okay? And because I had been preparing, and my kids were in therapy anyway from my divorce, they were like, "Yeah, mom, we always anybody who needs help and we can give it, you always say we should." So the kids were mobilized, and it was so wonderful for me to kind of see. I didn't tell them much, but they knew I was at the hospital. I was coming home with him, and they actually prepared like a little dinner for us because they're like, well, he need food for with his medication. My kids were just amazing.
Yes.
You never know how people react until they're in a situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought brought him home to the guest room, and the kids went to school the next day. He met them, whatever, and it was very weird to me to be in that position of I'm being that person's phone call from a hospital or being the one that they say can take care of them. And it was like it did something to kind of switch our relationship, really warp speed. It was like, okay, now we're going to talk about this. Now you're in my home, and then I was at your home, and our children met, and we were just going at a pace of. We got to a point of families meeting, me going to meet his family in Florida, and him meeting my mother. We'd gotten to that point, and then I kind of my avoidance side started screaming.
Mm.
It started like, what are we doing? Because after my divorce, I was like, I'm never getting married again. Why am I going to meet this man's family and meet his parents? And I know I never want to get married again.
So you're in that phase of that phase at the time. Okay, yeah.
Right. But it was weird for me. As you said, you were that guy's phone call for something else. I was I was somebody's phone call for the hospital, and I was like, why? Why? It was just odd to me. it was odd to me. I've done that for family, but for somebody I'm dating, especially it was only about 2 or 3 months, I just didn't see it. But
Yeah,
it's kind of like my husband, which made me break my rule. He's like the man knows his intentions for you within the first date. He knows. So you may have seen it as warp speed and you may see it as a certain way, but this man knew what he wanted and where he wanted to be in this life.
I get that though. I always believe because ever since I started watching Kojo's channels, I always believe like when he says when a man knows, he knows. I've always felt like that. Um, always
The woman too. We just don't like to listen to our inner self.
exactly. Because like story time again for like the 50th time. So back when I was on dating apps, like this 2 years ago, I think yeah, 2 years ago, I was doing Facebook dating. So this never again on Facebook dating. But there was a guy that I just was not that physically attracted to. And
Okay.
I knew it. Deep down I knew it, I should say. Deep down I knew it. But I decided to go against what I was my gut was saying. And
Mhm.
Sean if Sean's still in here, um he's always said don't even come my way if you know that you don't like me like that because of you don't find me physically attractive. And I mean because this was I mean I was 30 so I knew better, but I I still did it. And like I still entertained, I still talk. I mean nothing came of it where like we even had a date or anything, so thankfully. But I mean, I didn't get to the point where I was, completely misleading him. I mean, I do feel like I did mislead him a little bit, so that I'm gonna own that. But I knew deep down that I didn't find him physically attractive, and I knew. I mean, and by that point, I had been listening to Kojo channel for a while, and I had a feeling that I felt like this for a couple years by that point, but I just didn't actually listen to it until then. So yeah.
Hey, the dating and dating apps of the world, I just, saw it as meeting people and getting to know people and new experiences. It wasn't for looking for another husband or exclusive relationships. Because for me, it's like at the time there was so much, and I see it so much of the world that I don't know and haven't seen. So it would be like when people would take you on a date, you would get to experience a different restaurant or a different,
Mhm.
just festival that you never knew was, in downtown. It would be like, oh, okay, and as you are company. That's how I saw, because I wasn't intentionally looking for exclusivity. I was just looking for, oh, you can, help me explore this great world. That's it. And sometimes that can be harsh, sometimes that can be bad, but I will say I ain't a Chris. I never ghosted anybody. I'll tell you straight up, this ain't serving me. Maybe that's bad too. What is that harsh? I don't know.
Mm.
Hubby says I can be harsh at times.
I mean, I've
But
been
at least I'm
exaggerating.
honest, straightforward. I was upfront. Even with him, I told him the first time he messaged me on an app, I'm like, not the time. I really can't do this right now. Maybe in the new year. Check with me in January. And he did. It's like, oh, okay.
Just yeah, this is we just rambling at this point, like Jay tends to do. So we just rambling at this point, y'all. So
We ran away. We ran away from the show.
so
This has been fun.
yeah, I thank you for coming on because
No problem.
as I said before we started, I was all types of anxious. I woke up at 6:30 this morning, and I'm in Central Time, so it was like 7:30 for East Coast folks. But yeah, I was all types of woke up and I was all types of freaking nervous and stuff like that, and I was just like, but yeah, cause it's being able to do stuff like this with people I'm comfortable with that really just makes it better. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna help you get your voice. We're gonna start with this and see where else it goes.
Oh, we're gonna do Love Is Blind UK when that drops in August. We're gonna do it. I'm committed now. I'm committed. Like
Maybe we could do the foreign shows because you and I watch the foreign shows. I love Maps Australia. So
I was at full disclosure, guys. I'm giving up Mass US now because of this raggedy Denver season that is never ending. We're still getting an episode next week, and I don't know why.
what?
I don't know why because it's where are they now with the people of the cast, and it's like why I don't get it.
Noni.
I'm tired. It's been 6 months. It's been 6 months of this dry season of maths, 6 whole months. I'm like, we have beat this horse dead. We ran it over, backed over it, ran it over with a train, every which way we could think of to kill it. And it's like, at this point, we need to stop because the early seasons were good. I mean, I didn't watch all the early seasons at first of maths, but
Oh, I
um
saw the early seasons. You're missing out. You need to go back.
no, because I watched seasons 4. I skipped 5, and then I picked back up with season 6 and kept on with that. So I kind of sort of done this early seasons, but what they need to do is they need to go back to 3 couples. That's what they really need to do. They need to make it so that the couples don't are not in a shared apartment anymore because that's trash. Why would they need to be all up in each other's space like that? Even if they
They're
are
married.
neighbors? No, I mean like why the couples need to be near the other couples.
Oh, you mean the maps? That's what I did enjoy. Maps the first few seasons. I think 1 through 3, they had to go find their own apartment.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's like they because even in season 4 and I think 6, 7, and 8, they didn't they had to find their own place to be together because they didn't introduce the whole shared apartment until season 9. I remember that.
Right. Right. That they found an apartment and they just moved into it. And I think their thinking is that we can move production along if we have the apartment, everything's done, and they just move in. And for me, part of the whole getting together, you can get a whole lot more episodes watching these people just trying to find a place to live that fits in their life, but also it's production. The cameramen can't be traveling all over the states,
Mhm.
to be, capturing this. But yeah, I agree with you. The first few seasons, like 1 through 5, definitely have a different vibe. But yeah, maybe we could do the foreign stuff. I love the international stuff.
Yeah, and I mean even with Love Is Blind, I find like the I love the Japanese version of Love Is Blind because that felt the most authentic to me, and they literally had 2 whole marriages out of it, and they had the 2 couples that did end up getting married had babies, 1
And we have
baby each.
uh-huh.
So I'm like, I loved it. I mean, personally, for with Love Is Blind Japan, um,
So UK and Habibi is coming up, and
oh,
South Africa.
they have a Germany one coming out too.
Oh gosh, yeah, we could do Love Is Blind. Because I was getting on Jay and Kojo that they missed out on Love Is Blind Sweden.
Oh yeah, we should have done that one the early when it aired, but we didn't. So,
Yeah, yeah, Love Is Blind Sweden was really a good time.
oh my gosh, that was a whole trip. That was a whole trip. I'm like, ugh.
So yeah, we could do Love Is Blind or Married at First Sight's the international editions.
Yeah, and is the current Maths Australia done? Right.
I think it is done. I think they did a where are they now kind of thing.
Okay, because I was
I
gonna
think
say,
yeah, they're done.
okay,
But they only do it twice a year.
I don't. I'm seeing. This is what I like. This is what I was also going to say about the U.S. version for Mass is that they crank out these seasons twice a year, and it's like in the beginning seasons they didn't do that, or at least they didn't do it very much, and it's just like at this point, it's like it's if it's going to be 6 months each time we're watching Married at First Sight, then I don't with no downtime, like because this was even more. This current season was even more draining than usual. So, and I don't honestly blame Coach for not wanting to recap it because I'm like, I mean, if I at the beginning of the season didn't think that it would have been the way it was, I wouldn't have continued
Right.
personally.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you're gonna have to remind me or let me know when the next Australian version comes. Because I will try to watch that one. Because doesn't that come on Lifetime too?
No, but that's a season behind. We
Oh,
how
okay.
I watch it is I have my VPN for
Okay.
Melbourne, or is it Melbourne?
Hmm.
Um, and or Sydney, and I watch it on their channel 9. And they come out like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, gee, okay,
So we could just do a week and capture all of it.
okay, because
Yep.
that's a lot. Because
Yep. We could.
that the only reason why I'm having such a visceral reaction to that is because I watch I don't know if you know it, but Love Island, and
Yes, I know Love Island.
that is an almost everyday thing except like 2 days out of the week, 1 or 2 days out of the week, and I'm like, "Ugh, that's a lot."
Yeah, I stopped watching Love Island and start watching Queen E channel and her synopsis because some of the things I just, so many people could play so very well on Love Island. They're just missing the mark on some things, and I'm like, no, don't do that. You could win this thing. But hey, it's the same
Yeah,
thing like Big Brother.
I had to actually stop in the middle of the last season of the U.S. version of Love Island because the way they kept coddling this one guy, I was like, why is he still here? Should have been gone.
Yes, I remember him.
Mm, I
They were
couldn't.
giving him the pity, keeping him there.
And that was the first time I ever did that because and also another bone I have to pick with that version is that they replaced Matthew, and I love Matthew as the narrator personally. So I didn't like him in the first season, but in the second season I loved him, and then they replaced him in season 4, and I was like, y'all some brackety people getting rid of
Yeah,
my favorite
it was.
narrator.
Yeah, there's some good foreign shows out there. There was one though that they stopped and they just canceled it right away. Was I Kissed a Boy. It was basically they were just matching people to date each other on the show, and they just you walk right into the room and you kiss the person and then introduce yourself. That was wild.
uh, I don't know. I'm very picky about people
You
touching
signed the
me.
contract.
Like I know I'm just saying like I'm very picky about people touching me, and unless I'm like I like you like that, I don't want you touching or kissing me.
Well, you signed a contract that this is what it is, that you're going to walk in and kiss this person full on.
I wouldn't be signing no contract because no, no, no.
It was interesting. It was very interesting because it was some people were very quick to end, and some people, the producer had to be like, so it was interesting. It was, see, these foreign shows, these international shows, or outside of the US shows are very interesting. So you want to wrap up?
Yeah, give me your sort of overall thoughts of the first episode. I should say, and what you hope to see.
I hope to see, they have better production. It was very scattered in just capturing the information about these people.
Mm.
But I wish they would have handled the incident at the end a little bit better, but I guess they're learning as well. But for those who recently met, I am hoping that they have smoother sailings. But all of this drives content, it drives conversations because there is probably an infinite amount of people out here encountering these dating situations and have no idea how to move forward. So for all of it, I will just say, just be an open mind and just use this as a catalyst for conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of maybe in the middle of the road with this first episode because it was feeling like a mashup of catfish without the catfish part, and love during lockup and love after lockup or whatever. So without the jail. So it was, I was getting those sort of vibes from it. So it's like, I mean, because I back in the day I used to love watching catfish. So I mean, but I and look, I stopped in the middle of the season of Love During Lockup because I remember watching, like, earlier this year I was watching that show and I was like, this is so too much. This is just too much. They were doing way too much. So I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. So I mean, I will stick with it for sure. Because some of the people seem cool. So I'm curious to see what will happen with some of these people, but for sure some of these people definitely need to just exit stage left and go straight to a good therapist.
Mm-hmm.
That's the advice I will give them if anybody's watching, if any one of them is watching. So because the, but I guess drama sells because I mean we saw um what is the couple from Love Is Blind. It wasn't last season, but the season before that, season 4, the black couple. I can't remember the name. Brett and I don't even remember.
Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany. Sorry, I couldn't remember the name. Dang. Yeah, because they were solid, and I love seeing them. But they didn't show them that much. So I mean, and that like I said earlier, they didn't really show what was it? Who were they? The one that went on the cooking date. They Shay and Josh, or no, was that somebody else? That was Sienna or Brandon, one of those two. They didn't show them that much, so I didn't really have much to say about either one. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully.
We will. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you guys for coming out and um, watching. It was definitely a time. Definitely had a lot of laughs and definitely had some story times that went off track, but we made it. So um, maybe I will have somebody else on, like Jay or someone, if they want to come on or something. But we will see you guys next week because if Elsa wants to do this every week, I'll be more than glad to do it with her. So, um, but with that, we're signing off, guys. Bye.